When you think of a successful salesman, what pops into your mind? Is it a roofer knocking at your door who's genuinely concerned about your roof and he wants you to honestly replace it because it's going to leak soon? Is it a guy standing at a used car lot who's willing to sell you a car that's leaking oil and he doesn't care what you think about it and he's just trying to make a little bit of money? Or is it even Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street who's calling people up, scamming them, taking their money? Well, honestly, I think that is not a moral salesman, Jordan Belfort, but I think that he is a successful, driven salesman. And other than my little intro there, I will tell you the secret to closing sales and to being successful in sales. Here it is. The secret to being successful in sales is conviction. And you might be thinking, well, what's conviction? What the hell is that? Am I going to jail? No. Conviction is how I'm talking right now. You can tell that I'm feeling it. I'm motivated. I believe in what I'm saying. I don't have to sit here and play some trick on you. I know that probably a lot of people watching this, if anybody's watching it at all, are thinking like, man, I just want some little lever that I can pull. I just want a little trick that I can do, and then boom, all my sales go through, I make a ton of money, and it was no effort. Well, I'm sorry, but that's just not possible. And because people aren't stupid, right? But people are, I don't want to say malleable, but they're easily influenced by somebody who has strong faith and strong convictions. And that's what I'm saying. When you believe in your product, or let's say in Jordan Belfort's case, Wolf of Wall Street, he believes that his product is going to make him rich, or his service, or whatever he's providing. So he has real reason to believe and to act on, telling people, hey, buy this, boom, boom, boom. And obviously I'm paraphrasing and making it abridged extremely, but he's saying you need to do this because boom, he's adding all this urgency. And he's making them believe it because he believes it so strongly that somebody hearing that is saying in their mind, I didn't believe this 10 seconds ago, but this person on the phone changed my beliefs and now I'm open to buying it. So do I think you should cold call people and try to scam them? Absolutely not. I mean, clearly that's a terrible idea and logically you should be placed in jail. But when I say convictions, it doesn't just have to be immoral. It doesn't have to just be, this is going to make me rich. I don't care what it does to people. I'll just steal their money. No, I mean, there's value in stuff too, right? You can be so convinced and have the convictions that whatever you sell is going to provide so much value that your customer will thank you for showing it to them in the first place and convincing them to buy it, that either you've seen it before or the process is just so straightforward. And I'm sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, but you believe in it so strongly that it takes over their skepticism. And this is one thing that Alex Hormozi briefly touches on in his book. I think it's $100 million offers. It's his first one. He probably touches on it somewhere else. I'm sure he does in one of his sales videos and stuff. I'm sure it's great. But briefly, he says, I was able to sell people because my convictions about how great my product would be were stronger than their skepticism about how it wouldn't work. And again, I'm paraphrasing, but so what he's saying is he believed in it so strongly that when he talked to people, they could tell that he had zero doubt that if they followed his system, it would work. And people, again, like I'm saying, they're not dumb, but they understand emotion. And when someone has emotion so strong that they can't be taken over, and their emotion can actually take over other people's who is not as strong as them. So that's the one sales trick. I won't make this video too long. I mean, we'll see if anybody even watches to this far into the video. Thanks if you have. I really appreciate it. I'm a small creator. And I appreciate everybody who's, logging in, clicking on my video and watching through. I think that this video can provide some real value. Excuse me. And I mean, you guys can tell that I'm pretty convinced that that's how you close sales. It's not from, like I said, it's not from doing little minor tricks. It's not from, tricking your prospect a little bit. How can I get them to change their mindset ever so slightly to make us the decision that they go with? No, it's you believe in your product so strongly that you're convincing them that you're the only option. And if they go with anybody else, there's no chance, or there's 100% chance that they're going to look back and say, I wish I went with you. 100% chance that they're going to say, I wish I went with you in the future. And I think that that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, obviously you need to be educated on what you're selling. You need to present yourself well, and you need to, do a million other little sales things. Not a million, but a few other sales things that makes your prospect have faith in you, right? And I'm not going to edit this video because I don't need to. I don't have a million followers. I'm not getting a million views, and I would rather just express my raw emotion and just my thought process. I think that if you have your things dialed in, your wording, your product, you understand your customers, you understand their objections, this is all pretty easy stuff you can master. The hard thing is learning to believe in you're not even learning, you're just believing in your product. Because rewind a little bit. I worked for a contractor doing sales for close to a year. This was a little bit over a year ago when I started. And I didn't have the convictions that I do now and about what I'm selling. I never will have the convictions that I do now about what I was selling then, because I don't know, myself at that time, it just didn't click with what they were selling, not to mention what they were selling. They were not convinced on what they were selling, if you know what I'm saying. They provided a good service, but they didn't believe in it like a salesman who is so cutthroat. He's willing to make all the sacrifices he or she. And I think that that's important. I think that that's so important to sales, and everybody overlooks it. I feel like nobody ever talks about your emotions in sales. They say, be professional. Don't get caught up when somebody says no. Yeah, obviously, right? People are going to say no. You're going to get 100 or 1,000 no's before you get a yes. But when you get a yes, you'll know that they believed in your company or whatever you sell. They believed in you, and you believed in your sales. So, in whatever you supply. So, I don't know. Recently, I've been thinking, and again, this is going for quite a while, but so I'll wrap it up quick. I am starting a business, and I'm doing some kind of speed to lead for contractors, specifically for roofers, and I think that I can provide a ton of value. So I am so convinced that I can get them to buy, and I'm so convinced that I believe in my product, that I believe that I can get them to buy even when they're skeptical of it. So here's an example of what maybe a phone conversation would look like. Let's say I cold call a roofer, and they pick up, they say hello, I say, hey, this is blah blah XYZ Roofing, right? I say yes, I say okay, and then I do a little pattern interrupt, and I say, okay, hey, who's handling your leads right now? Quick question. Or is that you, or is that somebody else? And they say, I do it, but honestly, I'm not good. And I say, okay, well, hey, I think I could improve your speed to lead and close some more sales for you. And they say, okay, well, maybe I'll hear you out, but blah, 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 blah. They've got this conviction, and like they say in Wolf of Wall Street, the only conviction they really have is that they don't trust you. That's the only conviction that any prospect will ever have, is that they don't trust you. And maybe they trust you, Specifically, when I say you, and I emphasize that, I mean specifically you, the salesman, but they don't trust your product. So it's up to you in whatever time period you have to convince them to trust you and your product. So I might say, hey, listen, I know that I just started talking to you 20 seconds ago, but if I told you I could build a system for you and have it going in 1 or 2 weeks, and it would save half of your leads that are dying from your paid ads, half your money that you're spending, would you say yes to this? Especially if I built it for you at cost or for free. And if they knew that I believed that so strongly, and I'm not just lying to them, I'm just BSing them, how could anybody say no? Trust is the one thing. You have faith in your system, and they trust that you have faith in your system. That's it. That's all sales is. And anything else is just noise, and it's just excuses. When somebody says, no, I don't want to buy from you, what they're saying is, your company can't help me, and I don't trust you. That's it. That is literally it. So if you can convince them that you're trustworthy and that you believe in your product, and then make them believe in your product, you will close the sale. You will benefit the company, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You will get rich, whatever. Okay, yes. This video has been going for almost 12 minutes. So that is the secret to sales. Let's go get this fucking money.